The Cooke. A historical fiction of love, identity and fate by S.J. Jeppsson. Chapter 38. The Grand Hotel. Part 1. The laughter and music from the wedding reception at Delmonico's still lingered in the air as Kate stepped onto the pavement, Evelyn gingerly carrying the hem of her silk gown above the stone walkway. The night was crisp with the lingering scent of champagne, roses and fine cigars, the remnants of an evening steeped in grandeur. At the curb, 2 carriages awaited. The first, driven by Sebastian, would carry the Weatherbys and the Granthams to the townhouse, where they would stay for the night, before the Granthams departed the next day for their summer holiday. The Weatherbys would remain in the city to host the wedding breakfast the next day, before Thomas and Kate departed for a week in the Catskills together, away from the prying eyes of society. The second, its brass fixtures catching the flickering glow of the gas lamps lining Fifth Avenue, would be driven by the Weatherbys' second driver, Mr. Talley, with Mr. Finch at his side, to carry the newlyweds to the Grand Hotel. A footman stood at attention beside the bridal carriage, his white gloves immaculate as he opened the door for the newlyweds. Evelyn gathered the trailing silk of Kate's gown and guided her toward the step. As Kate placed her foot upon it, Mr. Finch approached with his customary quiet dignity.
"Your carriage awaits, my lady,"
he said, inclining his head. His gaze shifted to Thomas with equal deference.
"My lord."
Evelyn helped Kate gather the folds of her gown as she stepped carefully inside. The plush velvet seats welcomed her, the warmth of the enclosed space contrasting the cool night air. A question rose, one she hadn't fully grasped until this very moment.
Oh,
Her cheeks warmed.
You're not coming with us?
Evelyn's smile softened into something warm and reassuring.
"Now, Lady Hollingsworth,"
she said gently.
"this is your wedding night. You and his lordship should have this journey to yourselves. I'll ride with Sebastian back to Weatherby House."
Kate's breath caught. The carriage suddenly felt smaller, more intimate, more real. Evelyn squeezed her hands.
"This night will be magical, my lady."
Kate swallowed.
I don't know what to say. But thank you, Evelyn, for everything.
Evelyn gave a small bow, the kind reserved for moments that mattered.
"It's been my honour, Mrs. Hollingsworth."
Kate let out a surprised laugh, and Evelyn joined her, the two of them suddenly girls again, delighting in the sound of a title that felt both impossible and dazzling. Mrs. Hollingsworth. And then Evelyn stepped away from the carriage, leaving Kate alone inside. Outside, guests lingered beneath Delmonico's arched entrance, calling out farewell wishes and raising half-empty glasses in final toasts. The glow of street lamps and carriage lanterns bathed them in golden light, their laughter carrying down the avenue. After final goodbyes, Thomas climbed into the carriage and the door clicked shut with quiet finality, enclosing them in a hush that felt suddenly intimate. For the first time that evening, Kate and Thomas were alone. She felt the weight of the day settle upon her, the finality of it, the undeniable truth that she was no longer just Kate Cooke, the girl who had once kneaded dough in a small bakery. She was Lady Lydia Hollingsworth now. Thomas sat beside her, his posture relaxed, content, his arm draped comfortably along the seat. He turned toward her, his gaze soft in the dim glow of the carriage lantern.
"Are you happy, Lydia?"
Kate hesitated for only a breath.
Yes, I am happy, my lord.
Because in that moment, what else could she say? Thomas's lips curved into a small, knowing smile.
"Good, because I intend to make you very happy, my dear wife."
His words should have sent a thrill through her, the way any new bride might feel, but instead, they settled in her chest like something warm and dangerous. Because Thomas believed in this marriage. He believed in her, and she, who was not Lydia at all, was meant to be his wife. But tonight, for the first time, she wondered if maybe she could be. As the carriage pulled away from Delmonico's, the muffled hum of laughter and music faded into the distance. The clatter of iron-rimmed wheels against cobblestone streets filled the air, punctuated by the steady rhythm of the horses' hooves striking the pavement. Fifth Avenue at night was alive with activity. Street lamps cast long, flickering shadows against the grand facades of mansions and high-end establishments. Automobiles rumbled past occasionally, their gas-powered engines humming beneath the glow of electric headlights. A modern contrast to the clip-clop of carriages still dominating the streets. Pedestrians in evening finery strolled the sidewalks. Women in silk gowns linked arm in arm with their tuxedoed escorts, their laughter carrying faintly over the bustle of the city. The scent of freshly extinguished gas lamps, warm bread from late-night bakeries, and the lingering hint of cigars and perfume wove through the air. As the carriage turned down Broadway, the scene shifted. The towering facades of theatres and hotels loomed overhead, their marquee lights twinkling against the night sky. The theatre district was still awake, actors and playgoers spilling out onto the sidewalks, their voices rising with the excitement of the night. Newsboys still hawked late editions, their cries sharp against the hum of the city. Finally, as the Grand Hotel came into view, its elegant French-inspired facade standing proudly on Broadway, Mr. Talley expertly guided the carriage toward the entrance. Bellhops in crisp uniforms awaited, stepping forward as the horses came to a halt, their white-gloved hands ready to assist at the direction of Mr. Finch. The ride had been short, yet it had been a transition, a passage from the glowing revelry of their wedding to the quiet intimacy of what lay ahead. Thomas climbed out first. He turned to assist Kate, but in that brief heartbeat before he could offer his hand, Mr. Finch leaned discreetly toward her, close enough to be heard, far enough not to be seen as improper.
May this night bring you peace, my lady,
he murmured, pitched for her ears alone. A blessing, a reassurance, and something else, a reminder. For though Sebastian and Evelyn had sensed that something about her was not quite what it seemed, Mr. Finch was the only one who knew. The only one who had held Lydia's sealed letter, the only one who understood. But she was not the woman the world believed her to be. And yet, he kept her secret, still. Kate's chest tightened. She managed a soft,
Thank you, Mr. Finch.
Just as Thomas stepped forward again, his attention solely on her. Finch straightened instantly, professional, distant, unreadable, before Thomas could register anything amiss. Kate placed her hand in her husband's and stepped down from the carriage, the velvet of her gown whispering across the stone. Together they crossed the threshold of the Grand Hotel. The moment they stepped inside, Kate felt as if she had entered a palace. The lobby was breathtaking. Gold-leafed columns stretched toward an opulent domed ceiling, where intricate murals of Grecian goddesses watched over them. A colossal crystal chandelier bathed the marble floors in warm, flickering light. Guests in pearlescent gowns and tailored suits murmured in admiration as they passed. The concierge rushed forward, bowing slightly.
Lord and Lady Hollingsworth, welcome to the Grand. Your suite is ready for you.
Kate's breath hitched. Lady Hollingsworth. The words felt both foreign and terrifying. Thomas merely smiled, offering a polite nod before leading her toward the private lift. As the gilded doors slid shut, sealing them away from the world, he turned to her, his fingers brushing over the back of her hand.
What do you think of the hotel, my love?
Kate swallowed, lifting her gaze to meet his.
It's beautiful.
Thomas's smile deepened.
Not nearly as beautiful as you are, my darling.
And for the first time that night, Kate couldn't tell if she was still playing a role, or if the warmth creeping into her chest was real. The penthouse doors swung open, revealing a suite so luxurious it took Kate's breath away. And inside, it was as if the very essence of romance had been spun into reality. Every surface was adorned with lush bouquets of roses, lilacs, and calla lilies, their soft petals casting gentle shadows across the silk-draped furniture. The air was thick with their fragrance, rich and floral, delicate and intoxicating, weaving into the warmth of candle wax and the faint trace of champagne. A four-poster bed, draped in deep crimson velvet, stood near floor-to-ceiling windows that overlooked the city skyline. A private terrace extended beyond the suite, where the lights of New York sparkled like a sea of stars beneath them. Kate stepped forward, her fingertips grazing the silk-draped furniture, marveling at the sheer opulence surrounding her. This night, the wedding, the carriage ride, the penthouse, was something out of a fairy tale. And yet, it felt terrifyingly real. Thomas removed his coat and gloves, watching her with quiet amusement.
You seem mesmerized, my love.
Kate turned, forcing a soft smile.
It's unlike anything I've ever seen.
His dark gaze flickered, curiosity lingering behind it.
Perhaps I should show you more of the world then.
For a moment, Kate felt dizzy at the thought, because to him that was an easy promise. But to her, it was a dream that had always lived far beyond reach, something she had never dared imagine for herself. Would he still want to show her the world if he knew who she truly was? Would he still hold her hand like this if he knew what she had done? She didn't know. She dreaded the answer. Thomas closed the penthouse doors behind them, the quiet click of the lock sending a shiver through her. Kate turned, her heart beating faster now, her hands lightly trembling as she removed her gloves, setting them on the polished vanity. Thomas watched her, his gaze unreadable but dark with intent.
Are you nervous?
He asked tenderly. She met his gaze, her lips parting slightly.
A little,
she admitted. His expression softened, his lips curving faintly, as though he had expected as much. Without another word, he stepped toward the small mahogany table near the window, where a chilled bottle of 1907 Veuve Clicquot Brut rested in a silver ice bucket. She watched as he untwisted the wire cage, a quiet pop breaking the hush of the room. A slow, deliberate pour, golden liquid bubbling into delicate crystal flutes, fine as lace. Thomas turned back to her, offering one of the glasses. His fingers brushed hers as she took it, the brief contact sending a subtle shiver up her spine.
Join me in a toast, my love,
he offered, lifting his own glass. Kate hesitated for only a moment before meeting his gaze. She wasn't entirely sure what they were toasting to. To their wedding, to the life she had somehow stepped into, to the man who had, against all odds, made her feel wanted, cherished, safe. Whatever it was, she wanted to hold on to it. She lifted her glass.
To us.
Thomas's eyes flickered with something unreadable, something deeper, more reverent before he tipped his glass toward hers, the soft chime of crystal ringing in the candlelit hush.
To us,
he echoed. Kate took a sip, the champagne cool and effervescent against her lips, slipping down her throat like liquid gold. She hadn't realized how tightly wound she had been until that moment, the first taste of the champagne, the warmth it sent through her limbs, the way it dulled the last remaining edge of her hesitation. Thomas studied her, as if waiting for her to settle, to find her footing. When she finally met his gaze again, he set his glass aside. Then, slowly, deliberately, he reached for her.
We don't have to rush anything, Lydia. We have all the time in the world.
He stepped closer, reaching for the delicate golden clasp of her necklace, unfastening it with slow precision. His fingers brushed against her bare skin, sending a thrill through her as the necklace slid away. She exhaled softly.
I know,
she said in a near whisper. But part of her didn't want him to wait. Because in this moment, with the city stretched out below them, with the warmth of candlelight flickering against the silk walls, she felt something unexpected. She wanted this, not because she was playing a role, not because she was pretending, but because she had never been touched this way before. Never had a man looked at her like this, as if she was something rare and precious, and for tonight she could allow herself to be his. He carefully placed the necklace upon the vanity, and for a moment neither of them moved. Then he folded her into his arms from behind, his touch a whisper of warmth against the lace. He could have undone her dress in one swift motion, taken what was now his by right. But instead, he simply held her there, close but untouched, as if waiting for her to breathe, to steady herself. As if giving her the chance to step away, should she wish it.
May I kiss my wife?
He asked carefully. Kate's lips parted on an exhale.
Yes.
She whispered tentatively, turning to face him as his mouth brushed against hers, soft, seeking, unbearably patient. And Kate let herself forget. Forget the lie. Forget the guilt. Forget everything except this. The flickering glow of candlelight cast golden warmth against the silk-draped walls, the distant hum of the city below fading into nothingness as Thomas kissed her. Kate felt the weight of the moment settle between them, the stillness, the quiet certainty of what was unfolding. She had feared this night, not because she was unwilling, but because it would make everything real. But now, as Thomas's hands moved over her with careful, unhurried reverence, she realized something astonishing. She wasn't afraid, she wanted this. Him. His fingertips traced the delicate slope of her neck, his touch feather-light. He was taking his time, as if learning her by memory, as if discovering something precious.
May I?
A pause.
That is, if I said I wish to undress you, would you permit me?
He asked, voice low and careful. Her fingers trembled as she reached behind her neck and unpinned the final comb. Then she turned, offering her back to him, in quiet, complete permission. His heart pounded as his hands reached for her, fingers moving over the small pearl buttons of her gown. Each one came undone with quiet precision, the soft rustle of fabric filling the space between them. Kate's breath quickened, her skin warming as the cool air kissed her bare skin.
You are exquisite.
His voice was low, full of something deep and reverent. Kate stood there, breath shallow, her corset and delicate underpinnings the only barriers between her and him. A flush crept up her throat, the reality of her vulnerability settling in. She had never stood before a man like this before, never let someone see her in a way that felt both intimate and unguarded, like an artist unveiling an unfinished painting, one only now taking shape beneath his gaze. Thomas exhaled softly, his eyes darkening as he took her in, not with hunger, not with possession, but with a quiet reverence, an appreciation so deep that it sent something warm unfurling in her chest.
God, Lydia.
His voice was low, rougher than before, like silk frayed at the edges. Her heart pounded against the rigid boning of her corset, her pulse quickening beneath his gaze. She should have been afraid, but she wasn't. Because Thomas Hollingsworth had never made her feel like something to be owned. He had only ever made her feel safe. He looked at her now the way he did at the altar, as if she mattered. And for tonight, she would let that be enough.
Are you cold, my love?
He asked softly, brushing his knuckles along the length of her arm. She shook her head, though she barely found her voice.
No.
His lips curved slightly, not in amusement, but in understanding.
Are you uncertain?
He asked tenderly.
I swear to you, I will never hurt you.
She knew that. She knew he wouldn't rush her, wouldn't press her for anything she wasn't ready to give. But the truth was, she wanted to give him everything.
I'm not nervous,
she whispered. His expression shifted, something reverent flickering in his gaze, as if she had just given him a gift.
Then let me take care of you,
he murmured, gently guiding her to face away from him once more. And as his fingers slowly worked at the laces of her corset, easing them loose with a patience that unraveled something deep inside her, she realized. She had never been this close to anyone before, never felt this cherished, this wanted, this safe, and she had never wanted anyone the way she wanted him.
You are so beautiful,
he murmured, his lips brushing over the tender skin just beneath her ear. She exhaled softly, tilting her face downward as he lowered his mouth to the nape of her neck, pressing a lingering kiss that sent chills through her. Her pulse fluttered wildly beneath his lips.
Lydia.
He murmured against her skin, the name an exhale, a prayer. She should have corrected him, should have told him the truth. But here, in this moment, she wasn't Kate the imposter, or Lydia the illusion. She was simply a woman standing before a man who made her feel like she was something precious. And she had never, ever felt so precious before.
A gentle word to the esteemed reader. The rest of this chapter, as the poets say, is best told in candlelight. Part 2 of The Grand Hotel, an adults-only continuation, will reside within the Cooke Just Dessert series at officialjeppsson.com, offered as a paid premium companion chapter. Subscribe and tick the bell to be notified when The Grand Hotel Part 2 goes live. Should you elect not to part the velvet curtain, the tale continues all the same, and I shall be waiting for you, as ever, at Chapter 39, yours in Lace and Liberties, the authoress.